Hey everybody, Cranky Gun Reviews here. I just wanted to do a little bit update. This is something I'm trying that's a little bit different. I'm in my bathroom studio. So because I'm cooped up at home, I need to find a place that's quiet that I can do my videos while my wife's busy and my kids are sleeping without disturbing anybody. So here we are. Tonight I kind of wanted to cover something that I've thought about covering a bunch of times, and that's stockpiling ammo or hoarding ammo, or just basically saving up in the case that you had some kind of a catastrophic event and you really needed ammo, either for hunting specifically in a long term where you couldn't get food for some other reason, or in the case that something really bad happened and you needed the ammo to defend yourself. So there's a couple of parts to that. One, I always believe that you don't want to go bankrupt buying ammo, because it's one thing, some people, they go out, they buy a brand new gun, they go out and they buy 5,000 rounds of ammo for every caliber they buy. Well, that's all well and good if you can afford to do that. Most people really cannot afford to do that. So what I recommend is, when you buy a new caliber, buy a couple hundred rounds for that caliber, and then over the next couple of months, every time you go into a store, if you have 10 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks in your pocket, buy a couple of boxes of ammo. When you go to the range, you don't necessarily want to have to go stop at a store, buy your ammo, then go shooting, and then you have nothing left. So you plan ahead a little bit. If you know you're going to go to the range and you might shoot 100 rounds of ammo, buy 200 rounds. Put the other 200 rounds in an ammo can, store it in your attic or store it in your ammo can, and then you have some when you need it. That way you're not going broke buying all of your ammo at once, and you have some, again, in the case that you need it. Now, the second part to that is, don't wait until there is an emergency or an ammo shortage to go out and buy your ammo. Right now, with this whole coronavirus thing that's going on, lots of people have been rushing out to the gun shops, especially here in Massachusetts, and buying up everything they possibly can. Every gun, every box of ammo, everything they can possibly get their hands on as soon as they realize that there might be an emergency going on. Then it started trickling out of our state, people going to New Hampshire to buy guns. Well, then the stores in New Hampshire started drying up of ammo, and they're rushing to stock their shelves. And at first I figured, well, it's good for the gun shops. They have the ability to make some really good money. Then I talked to some people I know at a couple of shops, and they basically said, well, it's not really the greatest thing, because if every shop is selling out of ammo and guns, and you basically sell off your entire month's worth of inventory in a matter of a couple of days, the margins on the guns are slim enough that they don't have enough money to go out and purchase stuff, besides the fact that now all the manufacturers, their inventory is drying up because all the shops are placing orders at the same time. So now you have these shops that have some money in the bank, they have employees that they need to pay, but they may not be able to restock their shelves. And I actually know of a couple of shops that shut down even before our governor said that they were non-essential and had to shut down. So there are shops that actually closed down or losing money because of the fact that people just went nuts and decided they had to have ammo and guns at the last minute, instead of planning ahead, buying stuff when they have money, and buying stuff ahead of time when the stores are well stocked. Not planning ahead is always going to constitute an emergency. Same thing with all the toilet paper. No idea why people freaked out and bought toilet paper. I guess maybe people are used to eating 1,000 bean burritos, but if there's any one thing that I took out of this whole coronavirus thing, it is that nobody seems to plan ahead for anything more than 2 or 3 days ahead of where you are now. So I always encourage people, make sure you plan ahead, you buy stuff ahead of time, so that at least you have a couple weeks worth of food, toilet paper, cleaning supplies. If your kids are in diapers, make sure you have extra diapers. And especially if you're into shooting, if you exercise your 2A rights, have guns and ammo ahead of time. One thing my wife has always said is that she doesn't mind me spending money on ammo, because she knows that if we ever need it, I will have it. So one thing I've done, I have stockpiled a bunch of ammo, and it's been over the last 5 years. Like I said, every time I see something in a caliber that I use that's on sale, I'll buy a box of it if I have money in my pocket. If I have 10 bucks, I'll buy one box of 9mm and I'll put it aside. That way when I go to the range, I don't have to go buy ammo, I have it, and I have some in surplus for everything that I have. Now, the second part to that, stockpiling ammo is great, but if you think about your firearms, if you have one firearm and one magazine, it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 rounds of ammo in that caliber. If somebody busts in your door and you have to defend yourself against more than one person, how many rounds are you going to be able to get off? Well, If you have one magazine, take a 1911 for instance, which I'll get to here in a minute. If you have a 1911 with one magazine, you get 7 or 8 rounds. Once those 7 or 8 rounds are expended, you have to hide in a corner, grab a box of ammo, reload that magazine under stress while people are coming in trying to bust in your door. There's a good chance you're only going to get off 8 rounds. So in that particular case, what's more important, having 10,000 rounds of ammo stockpiled or having 10 magazines already preloaded with ammo? Basically, the best thing you're going to get is however many magazines you have loaded with ammo, that's the amount of ammo that you have that you need in surplus. If you only have one gun and one magazine, it doesn't matter how much ammo you have because you're never going to be able to reload in that situation. So for certain guns that I have, I'll use my 1911 again for an example. I have 4 magazines for that. I usually keep them loaded. So when I'm carrying that, I have them nearby, or I usually carry an extra one with me so that if I have to reload, I at least have 14 or 15 rounds on me so that I can reload quickly, and that's what I have at my disposal. So again, if I have 10,000 rounds of 45 ACP, it doesn't matter if I only have 2 magazines. Once I expend those magazines, you can bet that I'm going to be shot and I'm going to die. So for your self-defense guns, if you have an AR-15 or a Mini 14, whatever you have, buy 8, 10 magazines for it. Keep them all loaded next to the gun, maybe not in the same case, but close to it. And again, certain states have different rules on where you can and can't store ammo, so make sure that you comply with your local laws. But buy what you can for magazines, keep them all loaded. And what I kind of think of for stockpiling is keep all of your magazines loaded, keep enough ammo to reload them at least once close by, and then keep your range ammo. So if you go to the range, you don't want to expend all of your self-defense ammo and then have to go buy more. Something happens in the meantime, you're not going to have ammo to defend yourself. So keep all of your ammo for your magazines, keep that much extra, and then keep your range ammo. On top of that, if you want to stockpile more for a long term, that's perfectly fine. But in a shit in the fan situation, all you're going to have is what's in your magazines to really be able to defend yourself with. So that's just something I've been thinking about. I'm going to go take a quick walk out and I'll show you guys a little bit on theory on how I stockpile ammo. So I'm going to grab my camera, move out into my room, and I'll show you what I mean. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so back, what I was talking about with stockpiling, again, using my 1911 as an example. If this is the only gun I have, right, and this is the only magazine I have, once I shoot all the rounds out of this magazine, this gun is virtually useless. I could have 10,000 rounds of ammo for this thing, and if I can't get it into this gun, it doesn't matter one bit. So keep that in mind. You want to have a bunch of magazines as well as a bunch of ammo. And again, what I just said was if you have 10 magazines, keep them all loaded. Keep enough ammo to keep them all loaded again. So again, if you had 10 magazines at 7 rounds, that's 70 rounds. Keep at least 140 rounds handy as a backup, and then keep your range ammo on the side of that. Then if you want to stockpile more, that's fine. But realistically, you can only use what is in your magazines and what you can put in your gun quickly. So that's my 1911. All right, so not loaded, but I'm putting the safety on. Now, going to stockpiling ammo, I have a few ammo cans here that have 22 in them, 22 long rifle. So a couple of videos back, I did some stuff talking about Dick's Sporting Goods when they had some 36 grain hollow point Federal on sale. I bought probably 4,000 rounds of that stuff, and I'll tell you why. So this box right here, I can fit about 2,400 rounds of ammo in this box, and you know, that's a nice little stockpile of ammo. Again, it doesn't matter how much ammo I have stockpiled. If I don't have enough magazines to keep loaded to shoot that stuff, if I only have one 10-round magazine and I have 2,400 rounds of 22 long rifle ammo, how many times am I going to have to reload that magazine? So just think about that. If you run out of ammo and you can't reload because you don't have enough magazines to handle the ammo, what good is the extra ammo? So again, make sure you keep extra magazines handy. So right there, this is 100 rounds. That's another 60 and another 30, so that's 90. So this is like just under 200 rounds of ammo that I could have loaded up on the ready in a 22 caliber. Again, then when you go to the store, if you see ammo on sale, again, going back to my Dick's video, I posted that I bought a couple of cases of that stuff. I think it was around $58 for 1,600 rounds, something like that. It might have been a little bit less. It might have been like 52. But I thought that was a good deal. So I went and bought one. I went back and I bought, I think, 2 more of those cases. So I had about 4,800 rounds of that stuff, and that's really good ammo. I've had good luck with that stuff. Now, that was because I had a couple $100 worth of money that I could expend on buying ammo at that particular point in time. Now, going back a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I didn't have that much money. So you see these boxes here. If I can focus in, this says $7, $7. I think this one was $10. And then all these boxes were between $10 and $12 a piece during the ammo shortage. So again, you may not be able to afford spending $50 or $60 at one pop on ammo, but you can go in and spend $7 or $14 or $21 on 3 boxes of ammo and store that. Then when you go to the range, if you shoot one of these, you still have 2 more. Next time you go in the store, if you find some ammo on sale, say this Winchester is $7 or $8 a box, you might have 15 or 20 bucks in your pocket. Buy 2 or 3 boxes of it. Only shoot what you need at the range and then store the rest of it. And then pretty soon, you'll have several boxes of ammo. And this is a small amount of what I have for 22. Nobody knows how much I have except me, and I don't even really know how much I have. But again, it doesn't matter how much 22 long rifle I have. If I can't get it into my magazines and get it into my gun to shoot it, this stuff doesn't matter. You know, over a long term, not expecting people to break into my house and take anything, this will be great to have stockpile, because if I have to go hunting and I shoot up a couple hundred rounds, then I can reload all my magazines and be ready to go out another time. So having extra stockpiled on top of what you have for your magazines is also a good idea, and that's kind of what I was trying to convey. If you have enough ammo on hand, and again, for new shooters, whatever you can fill up your magazines with, double that, and then add a little bit more extra for your range ammo, for your stockpile. And then as time goes on and you get a little bit of money, $7, $10, $15, you can buy a box of these and you just throw them in ammo cans. I put desiccant powder in each one of these things so that they stay pretty dry, and I have them in a safe in my house. So stockpiling ammo is not hard. You don't have to go broke doing it, but I do recommend, when you have a few bucks in your pocket, instead of buying a cup of coffee or 2 donuts or something like that, if you have the money in your pocket and you want to start stockpiling ammo, just buy 1 or 2 boxes at a time. These ammo cans you can buy at Harbor Freight for like $3.50 a piece. Those ones are about $12 or $15 a piece at some local gun shops or online to buy these 30 cal ammo cans. But get some good dry storage, get some ammo, and just start stockpiling it every once in a while. And it works out pretty well. You know, some of the other calibers like 45 ACP is not as cheap to stockpile. They're $20, $21 a box for that stuff, so I don't have nearly as much 45 ACP as I do 22 long rifle, because for one, I shoot 22 a lot more, and for 2, it's a lot cheaper. So again, it depends on how many guns you have in that caliber. 223 is another one, 5.56. I wasn't worried about 223 and 5.56 when this whole craze started going on with the coronavirus thing, because you buy at Cabela's, for instance, they had the 350 round or 300 round buckets of 223 range ammo on sale for like 69 bucks one time, so I bought one of those, and I haven't shot it. So I have 350 rounds on reserve, saved for whenever I need it, and that's the way I like to stockpile. Don't go broke. I mean, yes, it is cheaper to buy bulk. If you can afford it, buy 3,000 rounds at once off the internet, but a lot of states don't allow you to ship it to your house off the internet, so what you can do is buy 1 or 2 or 3 boxes at a time, and you just store it up. So that's my quick video on stockpiling or hoarding ammo, and what you can do over the long term without going broke and without having to panic buy. Thank you guys for watching Cranky Gun Reviews. God bless America. Have a great day. Please stay safe throughout this whole epidemic.